Hello? Actually, I'm already in studio. What's up? The camera is blocked. I can't help you if I'm not there to help you. Oh, alright. But you then just do it without the camera, okay? Just do it without the camera because there's no way I can help you now. Or send a picture of the screen and then I'll see what I can do, but I can't call you again. Okay? Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. There's a camera sign. I have to go on air. I can't talk. Bye. I need to go. I'm not going to go. Bye.
Jy's nog toe, nee.
Always loving local music. It's Mr. Big Bang with Give Me the Night. Apparently he's got some big concert happening on social media tonight. That's what everybody seems to be doing anyway. Good morning.
It's in the favoritism. This is like the second time.
I'm playing with it.
Yeah. You might have even played him yesterday. I'm not hating. We like the Big Bang music.
I do like his music. Actually, I like a lot of artists. Like I was being accused of also abusing Kaza, and I thought I had something for him.
Everybody gets accused of abusing Gaza.
How's the morning?
Oh, it's good. Good morning.
Yeah, it's a Friday, day 28 of the lockdown.
Is it not raining?
Tomorrow's Friday.
Oh, I don't know.
Hey, you don't run out of money.
No, I run out of money.
Yeah, I know tomorrow is the 25th, so if you are at the end of the line, don't worry. The tunnel ends tomorrow, I guess, and then you can be in the light. Or how do we put this?
More money, more problems.
More money, more problems. Of course, once the money comes in, then you start worrying about who needs to get paid, and this needs to go where, and this needs to go where. So yeah, but another month.
Those of us that have, yes.
Yeah, there's always some people did not. Mensaat less than 750 I saw on social media this morning a list. I'm not sure what they were referring to, but they were referring to a 350. I don't know. It's South Africans on social media. Maybe there's some sort of 350 grant also over there. In any case, so the person was listing all the, essentials you can buy with 350. And then they start arguing. It's like, hey, where are you buying eggs for $40? I also need to go and buy. So yeah, no new COVID-19 cases reported in Namibia for quite some time now.
And a new recovery reported.
And one more recovery.
We're in 7 now.
So now we only have like 9 active cases.
Basically, yeah.
We're doing pretty well. I also heard the ministry saying that they are just about ready, basically, to handle the outbreak anywhere. Around the country, they've given out bids to build like isolation centers or isolation facilities and so on.
Yeah. Sorry, can you put off the aircon? Shoot, I'm wearing a jersey. And, yeah. No, we've been reporting on. I mean, we know Ohangwena, or Musati, or Shana, and all these northern regions have facility centers. I know south of the red line as well, a lot of towns have. And they're all empty right now. It's just one of those, in the event that we need them. They've alleviated some of the burden, for example, on state hospitals like Shakati State Hospital, because it's a referral hospital, it's an intermediate hospital. So now they kind of just, the cases that I don't need to be transferred or referred to
the hospital,
just so that they always have beds available. But I mean, no cases have been reported up north, so they're still good.
That's good. I think the education system is not the education. The health system is. They're really shoring up for the case of an outbreak.
Yeah.
Like I also remember hearing them talk about recruiting. I think over 1,000 health workers in the past month or so who have been added to the workforce. Yeah. I don't have the particular details, but yeah, just watching snippets here and there of the of the sessions at the communication center, COVID information center every day. Speaking of education, there's a reason why it jumped onto my tongue. I finally got like some sort of contact from my son's school yesterday. They called me, and basically how they're doing it is like via WhatsApp groups.
Yes, yes. So I heard some schools are doing that.
But how's that going to work? I mean, I'm the one with the work during the day.
Actually, the reason you can see me, I'm on my phone like this is because
Homework.
no, at 9 o'clock the kids have like some conference call, and she's telling me the camera of the computer is not working, and I'm obviously not there.
Yeah.
To
To
rectify
try and fix it.
and it's almost ridiculous for me because it's like they're not considering that some parents are essential services.
Yes, some parents are not going to be at home to be able to help the kids with some of this stuff. So, yeah, like I'm still curious as to see how exactly this is going to work. I mean, essentially, lockdown is supposed to end next week. Next week is supposed to be the last week, and then the Monday after that, we are according to the current information anyway.
I think we will open. Anyway, I think we'll open. It's just I was speaking to a cousin of mine in the north. She's a teacher, and she was just saying like it's so ridiculous that they would even talk about online classes for them because their kids are at villages. Most of them live with their grandparents.
Yep.
And even if they live with their parents, it's usually this.
Yeah.
this
Tamagotchis.
the Tamagotchis, not the smartphones. Then there's just no other way of accessing them. And then she was also complaining because they were told to like identify their dates. Like schools were supposed to give date suggestion, and it seems the majority or what came out is that teachers would go, let's say on the 6th, and then 2 weeks later, like on the 18th of May, the kids would start. But then she's like, what are we going to be doing every day for 2 weeks? Just going to
school and
school, and it's not like we need prep time. We are busy prepping because we're on lockdown. So we just want to be able to go to school and start lessons.
Yeah. And you know, also another thing was equipment.
Yeah.
Like my neighbor is he teaches at Concordia. And he's telling me that the school does not even have equipment to be recording classes or live streaming classes. And I mean, he was saying he doubts that they even have money to acquire cameras and stuff like that to be doing these things.
They probably don't. And I mean, this is a Windhoek-based school.
Yeah.
Where you would think.
They would be the.
But even some schools in Windhoek simply cannot do it. We know there's also some schools like in the townships that also just cannot. And unless you know where exactly all your students are or your learners, and you're like knocking on the doors. It's just it's asking for a little bit. We're asking for the impossible, rather.
It's a bit of a mess, yeah. Maybe it's an opportunity for those of us with cameras, tenders.
I was thinking like I wasn't even thinking cameras, but I was thinking like even internet providers.
Yeah.
I haven't seen internet providers having this like really like cool packages, knowing that perhaps people now are considering getting Wi-Fi. People that didn't have Wi-Fi at home now have to get it, right?
Yeah.
But then you could have like really good specials
reduced
running
packages. Yeah,
reduced packages. Also knowing because of COVID-19, people don't really have money.
Yes.
You could really introduce nice packages, but I don't see everybody's just kind of sticking to their prices. Like, yo, bra.
If only our parastatal would be like, you guys can get half price data for the rest of the month, or for the rest of the lockdown.
But how do they control that? I mean, this is a private business, unless you're talking about telecom.
Even MTC is also parastatal.
To some degree, but it's also privately run. It's
so like. Ministry of State-owned enterprises, so pushing them, because I saw also even Social Security is starting to step up. I would like to think it's because it's something that they have been working on for a while now, their particular package, but maybe it's because the media keeps pointing them out and asking where they are and why they're not stepping up. Maybe we should do the same thing with MTC. Anyway, before we get to the comments this morning, I just want to read something, and then I guess we can chew on it. Reading from a wiki.
yes.
Date this. Date rape is a form of acquaintance rape or dating violence. Now, the two phrases are often used interchangeably, but date rape specifically refers to a rape in which there has been some sort of romantic or potentially sexual relationship between the two parties. Also includes rapes in which the victim and perpetrator have been in a non-romantic, non-sexual relationship, for example, as co-workers or neighbors. Right, now, since the 1980s, date rape has constituted the majority of rapes in some countries. It is particularly prevalent on college campuses and frequently involves consumption of alcohol or other date rape drugs. The peak age for date rape victims is from the late teens to the early 20s. Now, you might be wondering why I'm reading you this. It is, of course, surrounding the whole saga of the Fabian Amukwelele. I always want to say Amukwelelo. And Michael Amushelelo. Amukwele, the Fabian Amukwelele case, if you haven't been following the media, of course, it's been in almost every newspaper, even this week, because his bail application is currently underway in the courts. Maybe give us an update.
Okay, today's going to be day 3 of his bail application. And with this bail application, we've obviously had a lot of people come and give testimonies, such as the psychologist or social worker, Dr. Veronica Tron. We had somebody from the initial investigator. Her name is, I think, Sergeant Nambahu. She gave testimony yesterday. And I don't know who they're calling in. Fabian's statement was read in court yesterday. So they're kind of just, a lot of people giving the testimony so that they can see whether or not he will be granted bail. But some very interesting information came out just from the bail hearing.
Court yesterday,
of course, he's denying the rape. He's not denying that there was sexual relations. In fact, he's saying they had sexual intercourse with consent, which is then not rape. But some of the more interesting stuff that came out, and obviously it has come out that there was a pregnancy as a result of the reported rape. And obviously because in Namibia you're allowed to, abortion is allowed in circumstances of rape. So that she had an abortion, a legal abortion. The police, the initial investigator helped facilitate the process for her to get an abortion. But interestingly enough, he opposed the abortion. In fact, he threatened
a civil case.
A civil case. But even this came out in the court where he's saying paternal rights. He was talking about paternal rights. If you're a man and you impregnate a woman, you should have some say in whether she can keep it. And I think the state's like saying yes, but under rape circumstances, you have no.
You have.
Rape somebody, if she falls pregnant as a rape accused, you can't come and say
no, you must keep the baby.
You must keep the baby. And she was very clear that she does not want to have a baby under those circumstances that was conceived through rape. But yes, most interesting is I think a lot of people jumped to conclusions without getting information, because I told you, like, rape victims hardly ever get believed. But what was interesting is he initially, in his version, he said that if she had not fallen pregnant, there wouldn't be a rape claim against him. Meaning that he's saying that she reported him for rape because she wanted to have the abortion, and that there was in fact no rape. That was his version, but it was contradicted because there are text messages that is now proof and is sitting in the police's evidence, where immediately after the rape incident, the victim in fact sent him a text message talking about date rape. She said, please
Google what date
Google
rape is,
date rape is, because she believed that is exactly what had happened. And of course there was the whole scenario is like coercive circumstances, because she had gone to his place, he parked her in, and he refused to move his car. Apparently she tried at 9, please remove your car, he refused. She tried at 12, he refused. She woke him up at 3 o'clock and she was like, please remove your car, I need to go home. You know, he refused while he was asleep. And in the morning again, I think in the morning the version said, she said, look, if you're not going to remove your car, at least take me in yours.
Yeah.
But
I need to go.
I need to go.
Yeah.
And he still wouldn't. So those circumstances are, and I know it's very important because I know a lot of men tend to do that without realizing that there's actually implication for that.
Yeah, if that can get you into serious hot water.
Into a lot of hot water. But if that was just what he did, I don't think it would have been a problem. But obviously then there was the date rape that happened, or the rape incident. But those were first coercive circumstances, kind of forcing somebody to be somewhere where they don't want to be because you're refusing to let them go. Yes, so it's
like I saw basically the conversations that were taking place, especially on social media yesterday. Some confusion, of course, especially when it comes from to the guys, because of them, or most of us, let me say most of us, have kind of found ourselves in one of those similar situations. So the premise is, look, if you're forcing somebody to be somewhere where they don't want to be, and after repeatedly telling you they want to leave, even if they do end up sort of submitting to you, to whatever it is that you're demanding, they can still turn around and report you for rape. Yes,
it's generally because it's now under coercive circumstances. Yes. You didn't, and like I said, I think this is where a lot of people are like, but if it's rape, how did he? I mean, I've even heard a comment like, how did he ejaculate if it's rape? Well, men ejaculate during rape. What do you mean? but then also, I think most people have this. I think Namibians remove this picture of rape in their head, which is like the brutal image of dragging a woman by her hair, like pinning down, the violence, because that's what most people always anticipate. Like, if there's no violence,
then it can't really be rape.
It can't really be rape. Violence is not what makes the rape. Consent is what makes it rape. If there's no consent, if you put your penis, so I'm going to be very brutal, penis into a woman and she says no, and she repeatedly says no, and you continue, that is rape. She has not consented to it. And if it's under circumstances like coercion, where like, okay, you've been forced to stay there, he's touching up on you, he's, and you don't want, even if you're saying no, but even it's not violent, it's rape because of the circumstances. Yes. And we need to start having these conversations. But the mere fact that he kept her house against her will, the fact
problematic.
That is already problematic. And this woman, because a lot of people don't report to rape immediately, but the fact that there's evidence of her showing that she knew something about this encounter was not okay for her to say, well,
Google date rape.
Google date rape.
Immediately after she left.
Immediately after she left. So she knew what had happened to her was not right, and this is not even this is before she knew she was pregnant. But she knew that this encounter was date rape. She knew that instantly, and that makes it interesting. And obviously the police has also said in the statement that they actually have text messages of him admitting and apologizing
to the rape.
Oh
my goodness.
So
it's interesting.
Yeah.
You checking out the Informanté Facebook page. We're going to keep you updated on what happens in the court today.
Yeah.
The bail hearing, of course, or the bail application continues later today.
Yeah, it continues today.
Good morning, guys. It's nice to have you guys on board. Mutatio Carsons, good morning. Maria and Q-Base, bra. We are all having COVID hair and beard styles. What is the hood? Lost my floppy. Good. Find a lasting solution to your sound issue. It's becoming a turn off like Corona.
I will say I think it's your phone. I
Yeah.
will say that because we've been listening on other devices and
it's fine.
it's fine. It's some people. So
If people are experiencing this, sound issue,
yeah.
mostly it's probably because of the network connection or the connectivity where you are. Yesterday we were definitely having connectivity issues in the studio, and the stream was scrappy if you ask me.
Yeah.
But today is not one of those days. So maybe just reset your device and we can try
Reset your
again.
settings.
Yeah. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Jonathan van Beek. All right. There's no vaccine for corona. How does the people recover? Their own.
Yes.
All right. Corona I don't really want to compare it to the flu because that sort of confuses people, but it is sort of a very severe flu that you get. So if you have conditions like lung issues like asthma and TB and other immuno
cancer.
Yeah. Then if your immune system is sort of compromised, then this particular strain could probably land you in hospital or even take your life. So, but for the healthy, generally people do tend to recover. Some people don't even show any symptoms.
Yes.
Even
and,
with the virus,
and if it's symptoms, it's a runny stomach. It's all those temperature stuff that you just have to stay home for and because you can treat the symptoms, not the actual virus.
Yeah, you can treat the symptoms while the body fights off the virus, which it can. Shangelao Ndeshilombuela Nakanjembo. Good. I would like to find out about the EIG fund. I helped 2 people on my phone, but until now, no response. I replied for a 3rd time. What's up? Honestly, I also don't understand this EIG thing. I tried to read up as much as I could on it, and I still came up not really understanding anything. So yeah, I applied for a couple of people who also haven't gotten their money. But my wife applied for her cab driver, and he came by the other day saying he got his money. Even came to come give her like a $50 to say thank you for applying for me. So I honestly don't know what the criteria is. Maybe we should get somebody to come just clarify things once and for all. Dino Ramos, morning guys. When are you going to visit Fabian in prison? The guys used to visit so much in studio. Please do go visit the guy after lockdown. Maybe he's going to be out after lockdown. Your microphone is buffering, Mr. Q. Good morning to you all. That is Lamek Konjashili Timotheus.
Check your mic, Q.
It sounds fine to me, like it's at its lower setting here. Good morning, nice to listen. What are you talking about today?
Rape.
Yeah, but most net was fun. Good morning, Informanté. I just want to find out about the emergency relief fund. They say it's for people who have lost income due to the lockdown and for those who have lost their jobs. I'm one of them and I have applied but have not heard anything yet. Do I not qualify for it, or are they still busy with their applications? Maybe they are busy.
But you should have at least been told if you qualify or not.
Yeah.
Because I know that even if the money is not paid out immediately, you get
a response.
A response
Yeah.
to kind of just let you know. So it's very strange that you don't know if you qualify or not.
Maybe try doing the process again.
Yeah,
and see.
I was gonna suggest. Yeah.
Simon Gervasius. At the North, I think the best way is to go and distribute assignments at individuals. But individuals, some people like you, that is going to be crazy. How are you going to find all these people?
A class of 40, you have to find and check them. And like, I mean, a lot of I think a lot of teachers are involved as far as the parents are involved. Meaning, if the parents are, if one of the learners have a parent that comes to school or has built that relationship with the school or is on the school board or whatever, then those kids are, and their parents are known and where they live, but not every, for a fact, for example, at my kid's school, I know their teacher doesn't know half of those kids live.
Yeah.
If they needed to
To be delivering stuff.
to be or contacting us, they know who they know, and most of the kids' homes they don't know.
Interesting. The lockdown will be extended, says Shirik Shambeni. Hello.
Don't come. We rebuke that.
Valeria Chinasha, kisses to the both of us, I guess. Kisses
Oh my
to you too.
gosh. Don't be weird. Don't be weird. No.
Lee Walters. Basti. What a joke. I watched for 10 minutes and 2 anchors still has to give any worthy news. They laugh for their own supposed jokes. Still waiting for COVID news. Talk about Namibia. We know nothing, no stats, no TV programs. What stats do you want? We haven't had new cases. We told you there's one. You know what? I'm not even going to give you the light of day. Thank you for watching, though. We appreciate you.
Yo.
Yeah, no, like you're not going to come mess up my Friday, Judy. David Balomboleni Kamulu, quote of the weekend. If you think you are too small or young for effectiveness or to make changes, then maybe you have never been in bed with a mosquito before. Enjoy the weekend.
Like, this is the part where we laugh.
Yeah, I'm like,
Thank you for words of encouragement.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get to the bottom. Big hug, brother and sister from Aginjene. Q, are we continuing the birthdays this year? We don't celebrate. Venaflow Jahera. Birthdays? Whose birthday?
I just
Counting the birthday this year. Oh, with people being in lockdown. Maria, you had your birthday during lockdown?
No, mine is still coming next month.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I saw actually a joke, or I guess it's social media humor, where he said usually the January babies have a hard time, but this year we are the lucky ones because at least we were able to go out.
Yeah,
for our
celebrate your birthday
yes.
before everything went into shutdown.
But yes, Aries, Taurus season. Sorry, we're in Taurus season now. Sorry, guys. Next up is Gemini. I don't think we're going to be out either, so we don't know.
By the time we get to Sagittarius, I think.
Yeah, by December
we should be fine.
Yeah.
I 3 times already. I'm not sure I can again. It said my application will be reviewed starting from the 14th of April, and it's now the 24th. That's Valerie Stander. This is like it's an interesting scenario. Okay, you're the first person that I'm talking to, or that we are talking to here on the show, who says they've applied multiple times. Many people have said they have applied like once and maybe waiting still for
the payout.
Yeah, for the payout. Honestly, what is the response that you get when you do apply for the past 3 times? I mean, they're supposed to send you a confirmation message or something of that nature.
And it's a toll-free number, is there not?
Yeah.
So, what are they saying when you call?
Try calling the toll-free number and hear what they have to say. Salmi Tishi Congo, Fabian was in your studio, now he's arrested. First it was Michael, please sanitize your studio, Khanda. Puxi saying, morning Maria, awake you. Let me distract you guys from this corona thing. SAA is closing after government investments of over $1 billion US. Opinions. Do you think we will follow suit? And Namibia?
In Namibia. Oh,
Like
you're talking about SAA.
SAA closing.
Yes. I saw that.
Yeah.
How many? It's a lot of job losses. But SAA has been in for years. They've been. It's a similar situation to Namibia. They've been getting bailouts.
Just bailout after bailout.
And they applied for another bailout, and government said, "Well, we need this money for the COVID-19. We don't have time to be bailing out
you guys right now."
Yeah, and I mean, I think in the past, how many years? I think they've had like 9 or 10 or 11 CEOs, and so it's been a mess of a time at SAA. Namibia is also not slightly better, but we also not in a good position, like financial standing. We know also Namibia gets bailouts year
After
after
bailouts.
after
I mean,
bailout.
this month they have informed the employees that their salaries are going to be late.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
not cancelled, but
Yeah.
late. It's going to be, I think, a week
Yeah.
late or so.
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad. I think everybody at this point is worried whether they're still gonna have a job after this lockdown, but especially for staff where like let's say struggling SOEs.
Yeah.
I think they're even more concerned because government is that money is needed for other things. They're not going to continue to bail out SOEs. So
it's in like for instance with SAA closing, what happens to the airline industry in South Africa? Do they've
got other ones, Kalula, private owned ones.
yeah, so just the national airline.
The national airline, but I don't think
they'll.
they'll close down entirely. I think they're going to scale down. I think, you see, this is where you know something is wrong. They have a prime spot in London for flying. Prime spot is, let's say, your 8 o'clock or your. I'm not clear on like aviation calendar what is a prime time. But usually the slots from the time you start flying, and also the hangar where you park.
Where you go park, yeah.
Yes, is you pay for it. So prime spot usually has prime hangar and like I said,
and
that's
also a prime premium.
Yes, that's very expensive, and SAA has one of those. So they're saying they're probably going to sell or give up that slot in London. My thing is, if you know you're struggling, why would you even?
Yeah, why would you engage in some of this, exorbitant things?
Take the hangar all the way at the end where people have to walk miles. It doesn't matter, it's not gonna. People don't book thinking, oh, it's the closest one or it's got the best time. Or people usually book on prices.
Yeah.
So people don't have a problem.
No, I want to travel through the night or I want to travel through the day. You check where you get the best price.
Yes, prices.
Unless price is not an issue for you.
Yes, exactly. Unless price is not an issue for you. Then you would probably go for like comfort and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a bit ridiculous.
All right. Let me read some more comments here. Ma Angula. Cubase, please give a shout out to my uncle, Mutatio Tuso Carstens. It's his birthday from the family and his nephew, Vambuki. Oh, that's why you are asking about celebrations, because it's your birthday today. I left my singing voice at home this morning. Otherwise, I would have sung happy birthday to you, Mutatio. But happy birthday, my brother. Emily Dion Dapuka, no Cubase. It's your sound system. It's breaking up, although not that bad like yesterday. Yeah, like I was saying yesterday, we had connectivity issues. If there is something wrong with the sound, we're not picking it up here in the studio. I'm sure the guys are busy, fidgeting with the devices in the background. So let's just say it's going to go away in a little while. No, Maria, it is not phone's problem, because I'm also experiencing your sound failure. It is cutting indeed. So when you say sound failure, what exactly is it that you guys are hearing? Because I'm not hearing it. Maybe you can explain it to me so I can explain it to the team.
They said your mic is buffering.
Oh, no, it's fine.
But it's your mic,
Let me not antagonize somebody. I almost asked the question. Adriana Duplessis, on a serious note, guys, how long does it take for those people that were tested positive to recover from the virus? It's been a month now, no new cases so far.
Yes, it depends from person to person.
Yeah.
Generally 2 weeks, but you need to remember that they have to be retested. So that the process is even slower because you let's say you've recovered, then you really have to wait. Sometimes you've recovered the symptoms, but the virus is still in your system.
Yeah.
So you have to wait for it to
clear your system completely.
Your system completely, even if you're not having any more symptoms, and then to get retested, and then you're cleared if it comes back negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Estomich from Norway. Happy Friday. I saw that about the police raping that woman, I wanted to comment because I was upset on how most of the comments was against the victim. She was raped and got no sympathy. Many sided with with Fabian, the police officer. He broke the law, used his power. He should be punished for it. This is why most women don't say anything, fear of being judged and not believed. Think how many cases are out there that ain't reported because they are in uniform. My sympathy goes to her, and carrying a child that was conceived from rape is a nightmare.
Yes. Thank you for that. That is exactly. It's well said.
Yeah.
We don't side with the. We always side with the perpetrator, not the victim.
Not the victim.
Yeah.
Shabes saying 9 active cases. Yes, that is the current number. Frans van Wyk, Mutatio Castens, happy birthday to you. Sharon is also saying, I applied 2 times, but I got mine. That is the emergency grant. You see, that's why it becomes a bit confusing, because some people will tell you, I applied like 3 times already, I didn't get anything. And then somebody will tell you, I applied once and I got. And these are people who are in more or less the same kind of situation. Of course, we don't know what the finer details are when it comes to the powers that be, what they are looking at. How many active cases are we having, guys, on a serious note now?
9.
Yeah, 9. Come and tell that lady to WhatsApp me, please. And then he even puts his number here.
WhatsApp you for what?
Yes. Lunguti, that you heard. She's asking you for what? Timothy, how are you all? I'm enjoying the show. Thank you. Maria, thank you for clarifying the date rape issue. So many people have no clue. A husband can even rape his wife.
Yes. Very correct. And in fact,
Yes.
those are the ones that go unreported mostly, unfortunately.
Hey, if you report, I will divorce. I will leave you. I will leave you.
Oh,
with the
sorry,
kids.
and something else. There was another element here that most people, I
Miss.
think there were questions of why did she wait 2 months to report? Now, we need to, obviously, I will probably have more information on this case than some people because of
Because
the
of
work
your
I
work
do,
with the
because
Me
of
Too,
the
yeah.
work I do. But, you see, she instantly knew it was rape, but there was a lot of, she froze, and also there was a lot of, how do I say, when you, hesitation, because this was somebody she was working with. She didn't know, and he's much loved.
He's the spokesperson.
He's a spokesperson. We know he's got a
Come
charm
on, man.
about
Fabian's
him.
been our guy for a
Yes,
while now.
exactly. So he's much loved, and it was a thing of, am I going to be believed? Is this going to be, do I have to go through this, you know? But also apart from all of that is also how he responded. It was like very apologetic, and you know, he wasn't aggressive immediately. So she thought, oh well, you know, maybe it's just something we can put on the side and just kind of, like women do. Most women actually opt to just kind of keep it moving. Like, you know what, let's just
I'll learn to live with it.
yeah, I'll just learn to live with it and put it at the back of my mind. But obviously, then you find out that actually a child was conceived through
that incident.
Through that incident, and then the trauma comes at you like a ton of bricks. And that's when she, I think, realized, like, no, this is not right. It's not right.
And she also did express, like, she did not want to lose her job.
No, actually, yeah, that did come out in court, but it was clear, like, our I think it was just her own fears, but I mean, our employee act is very clear.
Labor Act.
Our labor act is very, very clear. You can't lose your job for falling pregnant. But I think
because of the circumstances. I mean, if you
Yes.
you're reporting a colleague. I don't know if he's superior to her in the hierarchy. But you're reporting basically a colleague for rape. They're probably not even allowed to be having, relations, or it's one of those things that's frowned upon in the office.
I don't know, because it's like she's a highly educated woman, and I think it was a support service for the city police, not so much that they're both police officers, but yes, I think she's obviously more junior to him, even though it's a support service. I don't think relationships are frowned upon necessarily, but it's still like it's a lot of things. He's like much loved. Like I said, they have to work. They have to continue working together. She obviously had fears that she had just started working, so a pregnancy isn't something that would be well received. And obviously, and then she also said that even she's a church-going, God-fearing woman, and just of her position and how she's perceived even in her church and in her community as this responsible person that has been able to put education ahead of everything else and has done so well for herself in terms of bettering herself and educating herself. And so to fall pregnant, like people obviously wouldn't think it's rape, but like the fact that you're not even married and you're not with the father of your child, those are all things that she also considered. But apart from all of that, there's like actually literally text messages showing like back and forth, and even the police officer said there was a lot of emotional manipulation in their conversations. You could see he was trying to like emotionally manipulate her.
And
So-
they had to work together for a while also
Yes.
after the incident.
Yes,
before,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. And I think maybe that's also how he was able to like kind of admit to the rape and apologize for it, because he thought it had gone away. It's like, oh, okay, she hasn't reported me. She's not going to report me.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sorry I did this. It's out of my character, but you did it, You did it, and there's consequences for that. Yeah.
Okay. Willem Jr. Toloso saying no comments. Women are unpredictable. Valerie Stander, what was the SMS they sent you that you qualified to receive your money? That is actually a good question. So you guys with who have applied for the emergency income grant, whether you received it or not, maybe you can share the sort of the response that you got after you
That might help others. Yeah.
Maybe just send, you can post it in the comments and then others can read it, and also we're going to read and maybe try and make sense of the whole thing. Wallace Dirgat, Morame Bro, welcome. Ola Jimmy Gauras, Garures Gaises. Kuruanj. Good morning. The number that you gave to dial if your emergency grant is rejected is never answered. Please help. Then I don't know what to do for you. I mean, that is supposed to be the number that you contact, ne? Okay, he's on. Mini Rousseau, we are still only testing 20 people a day, all right? Most of which are repeat tests of the confirmed cases. Why do we quarantine suspected cases and don't roll out mass testing as promised? I mean, they did promise to, or they did.
They're going to scale up.
Yeah, scale up. The minister was talking about 200,000 people that they want to test. I mean, I think what they're going to do is they're going to do it the same way they're doing it in other countries. They're going to start with the essential service providers first.
Yeah.
These are the people who are still in
Especially
moving
health.
around, working. Yeah. So test them, make sure they're fine and they are working and still helping other people, and then maybe just start testing other people as well as we slowly start to reopen businesses.
Yes.
Should be interesting. I think those are the comments that I have for today.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wanted to address something that I think somebody said something about, I don't trust women or something.
Women are unpredictable.
Women are unpredictable. Now, I get that a lot. Actually, not me get it a lot, but I see that a lot on social media. You can't trust women. Women also have agendas. Women, I get that. But I find this is where I always want to understand where this mentality is coming from. Us that have brothers or that have fathers, we were constantly told to be careful with men.
Yes.
We know that, like, even my brother would, for example, tell me, like, if you're at a club and like you're done, call me. I'll come.
Yeah. Don't be trusting none of these boys.
Don't be trusting nobody.
Yeah.
I'll come get you from the club. And I would, if I found myself stranded, I would call my brother, and then just messages like, don't get in a taxi with just men. Always make sure, or like, in fact, my father was even at a point that would say, like, take the taxi number and send it to me so that we are aware. So growing up, a lot of women would get these messages about don't trust men easily. And men know that too, because even they tell their sisters or their girlfriends or their whoever, or their cousins not to trust, because they know what they're capable of. So the message is don't trust men, because Because even men are afraid of men, right? If you go jogging alone and you see a group approaching you, just crack.
Wolves.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
even men are afraid of men. But when a woman accuses a man of rape, then then why is it difficult to believe? If the message is don't trust men anyway.
What did you do?
Yes, what did you do? What did you do to get raped, So it's like, let us, we know men are capable of rape. So why is it so difficult to believe that women get raped if we know men are capable? It just, I don't know, for me that does never make sense to me. It just never does. In fact, it's a contradiction.
Yeah.
No, we don't. But if we're saying men are not capable of rape or men don't generally rape, then why are we so afraid of them?
Why are we so afraid to leave or to have our sisters, our girlfriends, or whoever in close proximity with them?
With them, exactly. Yeah. So.
All right. Ola Jimmy also shared the number. Somebody asked her to share the number.
It's a toll-free number.
It's not a toll-free number. It's an office number, 061. I don't know if this is the number that you dialed. 061 209 2467 or 62. You can find it in the comments. A woman can be or have or become unpredictable because of the lack of respect they experience. Right? We should think, if she was your sister going through this, how would you feel?
And what does respect have to do with rape? I can disrespect you and you still don't have the right to rape me. This is it's the most fundamental thing. It's even if you don't like her, even if she is the rudest person, even if she tells you to screw yourself, you don't have a right to rape her. And nobody and nobody owes you respect anyway. Yes, it's nice when you get it, but why the entitlement to respect?
All right, here's I think the SMS that Sharon received for her application for the EIG. Your application will be reviewed and validated within 72 hours, starting on 14 April 2020. Don't worry about the 14, even though it's past 14. They will just write that date since it's the date it started. Just wait. As long as you didn't get the rejection SMS, you will get the money.
Okay, so it's still coming, basically.
So it's still coming. So probably, they're still processing.
Yeah, and it's a lot of people, so it's gonna take a.
You can understand how many people are queuing up for wanting to get that 750. Yeah. Don J Mwandi, was a Friday. What up, Q? I'm in the city inboxing you my clamor now. Max me bro, be alme someone at the show.
This one's in lockdown, yeah. Don't come and go have.
No, we talk most over the phone.
Oh, okay.
Wait, how did you get in the city? He's in the city.
Was it a travel permit or he snuck in?
Or you bought one of those NAPTA travel...
oh, yes, there was somebody selling the permits. Guys, let's get serious.
I love this country, man. Nesta Petrus watching from Ohangwena. Thank you, my guy. Thank you, Maria from Vedi Kayere. And Nadine Benz also joining the show. Why does reject us? Okay, is that now the question for the ladies? Where's
Must we accept everybody? Or is this for the grant? Please make it clear. We don't know what you're asking.
Make it clear. There are a lot of conversations going on here. Maria, I hear you. I can only imagine what the kid will have to deal with should she decide to keep child. The obviously child conceived in rape, but she already did have the abortion, so
it's done.
Lexi Adams, so what if you applied from one number? What if you applied from what? From one number 3, you get the income grant. I don't understand your comment. Anyway, on to the next one. I read that in March the lady was 11 weeks pregnant. In my view, Fabian was trapped.
That's what?
I read that by March the lady was 11 weeks pregnant. In my view, Fabian was trapped.
All right. No comment.
Yeah, it's your opinion, my guy. We will not...
Even he didn't dispute that the pregnancy was his. So why is a stranger disputing it?
Okay.
The only dispute was whether there was consent or not.
Yeah.
Not he never said the pregnancy wasn't his.
Yeah. In fact,